Okay, good morning, all of you.
Good morning,
So
sir.
today,
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
so today we are going to see the dynamometer type, wattmeter, and its deflecting torque. As I said yesterday on in our previous classes, so up to now we have studied the principles of the indicating instruments, then what kind of instruments we are going to follow. That is the moving coil instrument and moving iron instrument. So in that moving coil instrument, we are discussed the permanent magnet moving coil instrument. In that, we are going to use the coil for producing the deflecting torque. In moving iron instrument, we are using the single soft ion or two soft ion to get the attractive and repulsive force for producing the deflecting torque. So today we are going to see the dynamometer type wattmeter and its deflecting torque. So the dynamometer type wattmeter is one kind of a dynamometer type instrument. Here we are used two coils. One is current coil. So what is current coil? One coil is the current coil. We connect the current coil in series with the circuit. So the main current can flow through this coil. So we divide the current coil into equal halves. Then we place these two halves side by side like this diagram. So in this diagram, they are mentioned the current coil. So this is the current coil. So this is the current coil. So in current coil, we are using this current coil in a series manner. So if we are measuring the current value of the supply means, we are going to connect that particular coil in series connection. So here that coil is divided into two separate parts and that also connected in series. So connection is like this means series. So one end is connected to the other end of the coil, then other end is connected to some other end of the coil, means that elements are in series connection. That you are already know in your basic electrical and electronics engineering. What is series connection and what is parallel connection? Parallel connection of resistors, series connection of resistors. Ammeters always connected in series connection, voltmeter always connected in parallel connection to the supply in order to measure the respective value. Then the voltage coil. So we place another coil in the space available between the two halves of the current coil. So we connect this second coil across the source. This coil is a voltage or potential coil. Sometimes we also call it pressure coil. So voltage coils, sometimes it called as a pressure coil. Generally, we are saying pressure coil. Sometimes pressure coil is called as voltage coil. Also in series with the voltage coil. As I already said in your previous classes, in order to measure the voltage, the coil resistance must be high. It's up to infinity. So in order to make it, we connect one resistor in series with the voltage coil. This resistance limits the current through the coil. Also, it minimizes the inductive effect of the voltage coil. So we generally provide spring control with pneumatic damping in a dynamometer type wattmeter. So what kind of damping going to be adopted for this instrument means pneumatic type damping. Okay, so this is the current coil. In your previous diagram, we are see only this diagram. So this is the current coil. Between these two current coil, we are placing one voltage coil. So that also going to be connected to the supply, in which means that is the next diagram. So this is the general coil arrangement of the dynamometer type wattmeter. So This is the current coil. The diagram itself, they are mentioning these two things are the current coil. Between these two current coil, we are placing one pressure coil, that is voltage coil. This is the pressure coil or voltage coil. So in order to make the resistance is high to this pressure coil, in order to measure the voltage value, we are connecting some series resistance here. So voltage coil always connected between 2 points, between supply points. So this point is one point of the supply and this is another point of the supply. So between these 2 points only we are connecting the voltage coil and resistor. This is not the connection actually. This is not the connection. So this wire is separate and this wire is separate. Okay, this wire is separate, this wire is separate. These two are is not in connection, not the tie-up one. So this is the separate line. This is the separate line and this is the separate line. So current is flowing through this coil and come to this coil and go outward. Okay, that is a separate path. Then voltage appears between these 2 points through this coil, this resistor. So why we are using two coils in dynamometer type wattmeter? Actually, what is the use of wattmeter? Wattmeter is used to measure the power value. Wattmeter is used to measure the power value. To measure the voltage, we are using the voltmeter. To measure the current, we are using the ammeter. In order to measure the value of power, we are using the wattmeter. So in that wattmeter, here we are seeing dynamometer type wattmeter construction and working principle of the dynamometer type wattmeter. So what is happening here? By means of the current and voltage. So suppose we are giving the voltage to this 2 point. Suppose we are giving the voltage to this point and this is the lead. So what will happen? Current flowing through this coil and this coil also. So suppose the current flowing in this coil, as we are already know by means of the Faraday law, if the coil is carrying the current, the flux is produced around the coil. The flux is produced around the coil. The flux is occupied. The produced flux is occupy some area means then we can say that is the flux density. In general, they are named as capital B. So capital B is nothing but flux density. Flux density is nothing but flux in one particular area. So around the coil, we are having some area. So on what area, what is the amount of flux, they are mentioned by the letter B here. So by means of this I1 current, the flux is produced. The flux is in the area, then we are call it as the flux density. So this flux is react with this flux. So here also the current is flowing in this coil. So here also one flux is produced. So interaction of these two fluxes create some deflecting torque of that meter. So likewise, we are going to explain. Okay. See what they are mentioned in a equation manner. So all the things in our electrical point of view, all the things, all the physical things are equated by means of the equation. Okay. So for the DC power measurement, so wattmeter, we can use the AC power measurement as well as the DC power measurement. So for DC power measurement, here the current flow through the current coil from the source to the load. So as you already know from the diagram, from the source to the load, the current is flowing through the current coil. Then the current is I1 actually. Here this current I1 creates the magnetic field, hence the density of the magnetic field is proportional to the current I1. So as usual, by means of this current I1 only, the flux density is produced. So this is proportional to this I1 current. Then we can write this flux density is directly proportional to the I1 current. Okay. Then the current I2 flows through the voltage coil. Here, see the diagram, the current I2 is flowing through the voltage coil. The interaction of the magnetic field of density B with current I2 produces the deflecting torque. That's all. So, by means of this current I1, the flux density already produced, and by means of this current I2, some flux is produced in the voltage coil. So, these two flux gets interacted and gets some force, that is the deflecting force on the device. So we can write deflecting torque is nothing but that is proportional to flux density into the current I2. So again, the current I2 is directly proportional to the voltage V of the source. So from the diagram itself, we know this current is directly between this point and this point. So we are connecting this coil to this point to this point. So this point to this point is voltage is present. So by means of this voltage, we can adjust the value of current. So if this value want to change, means we can adjust the value of the voltage. So this I2 is directly proportional to this voltage, supply voltage V. So then because I can say that I2 is directly proportional to V. Then, so ultimately we can write the deflecting torque is directly proportional to the product of current and voltage of the source. So generally we can say that by means of the voltage coil and by means of the current coil, the flux is produced on the two coils. The interaction of flux gives the value of deflecting torque. Then I can say that the deflecting torque is directly proportional to I1 and V. The product of current and voltage directly gives power value. In case of the DC measurement by dynamometer type wattmeter, I can write TD is directly proportional to current I and. So generally, we are going to multiply the value of voltage and current, means we can get the power value. So a DC measurement is somewhat easy. So we can say that the deflecting torque is directly proportional to the power delivered to the load. That's it, power delivered to the load. So for DC measurement, just nothing but the interaction of fluxes between the voltage coil and the current coil. Directly by means of these two, we can get the deflecting. So according to the voltage and according to the current, we are getting the deflection. Normally we can say the multiplication of effect is occurred on the deflection force. So we can measure the power value accordingly. Then what is the AC measurement? So AC measurement is somewhat different from a DC power measurement. So DC power measurement, we can say P is equal to V into I, but we can't say that P is equal to V into I in AC, because some sinusoidal effect is present, because the alternating current means sinusoidal current. We can't say that a proper value at the proper time. For example, DC means at the 0 time, 0 second also it has the same. Suppose the DC value is 230 volt, means 0 second also it has the 230 volt only. 1 second also it is 230 only. 2 second 230. 3 second 230. It never changes irrespective of the time. But AC is varying with respect to time. Sometimes it has the value 0, sometimes it has the value maximum. Suppose 230 volt AC. In our home, we are using 230 volt AC. Sometime, some fraction of time, it attains the 0 value. Some fraction of time, it attains the 230 value. In between time, it attains some 115 volt, 116 volt, 117 volt, like that. So we can't say that at this time, what kind of value of AC is present on the particular conductor. So we are going to define this voltage V is nothing but Vm sin theta, because the voltage is actually this is the sine value. This is the sine value. So for sinusoidal wave, we are representing the sine wave like this. For 0 second, the value is 0. For some 5 second, the value is maximum. For 10 second, the value is again 0. For 15 second, the value is negative maximum. Negative maximum in the sense it will get reversed. Current is going to reverse like this. So we can't say the proper value at the proper time. So for generalize the value, I can say V is equal to Vm sine theta. Why we are putting sine theta here? According to the sine value of the according to the sine value, the voltage value may vary. Okay, if it is this value means sine is equal to 90 degree. So sine is equal to 90 degree means sine 90 is equal to 1, we can get the maximum value Vm. We can get the maximum value Vm. If it is 0, so theta is equal to 0 means sine 0 0, then voltage is also 0. So diagram itself says the voltage is 0. So in order to represent the voltage in the AC, you have to put V is equal to Vm sine theta. We can't say that V is equal to V. It's V is equal to Vm sine theta. Likewise, we are going to represent the current value also. We are going to represent the current value also. In general, I am representing the current value means I can say I is equal to Im sine theta. In general, I am saying means suppose I am having the voltage value. Suppose I am having the current value. Generally, I am drawing some current value means I can say this is Im sine theta. Im sine theta like that. Here I am going to merge this current to the voltage. Here I am going to merge some current to the voltage. In our previous classes, I discussed the inductive property. What I discussed? The inductive property. Suppose the voltage is present to the inductor, it creates some current, and that current is opposes the main current. What will happen? The voltage comes first, the current lags by the voltage. The current is lagging. So how we are representing the current is lagging means by means of the pi value here. So by means of this pi, this current is varying, lagging this voltage. Okay, so actually the value is Im sine theta. For alternative property, I is equal to Im sine theta is the current value. But here the current value lags by pi angle with respect to this voltage value. So here we are going to write V is equal to Vm sine theta, I is equal to Im sine theta, but sine theta minus pi, because the pi angle that is different. In the waveform, how we can represent means, suppose this is the voltage value, suppose this is the voltage Vm sine theta, and if suppose the current is also like this means, when it is 0, current is 0, when it is maximum, current is maximum means no problem. I can say that this also Im sine theta. Okay, this is Vm sine theta. But here, see left side, but here the voltage waveform is like this. The current waveform is like this. The current waveform is like this. So voltage is first, the voltage reaches the maximum value. After that only the current reaches the maximum value. Okay. So for the angle of pi, it will differ. For the angle of pi, it will differ. So that only we are writing I is equal to Im sine theta minus pi. Why I am discussing these things means we are going to derive some value to get the deflecting torque for the AC power measurement. So that only I am discussing these things. Okay, come to the next point. So hence we can write the expression of instantaneous torque. So generally we can write the torque means that is for DC. So instantaneous means if we are using the instantaneous word means that is the AC component. So instantaneous value of torque means that is the AC component of the torque. So how we can write that value? So that torque is proportional to is nothing but voltage and current. We are writing the voltage here is Vm sin theta. The current is Im sin theta minus phi. So V into I like this. So, but the mean torque causes the deflection of the pointer due to the inertia of the moving system. So we can derive the expression of mean torque from the expression of instantaneous torque as follows. So we have to find the mean value. Actually, we are getting so much value from 0 to some other time, 0 seconds to some 50 seconds. So from 0 second it has some value, some 5 second it has some value, some 6 second it has some value. So each and every time the value is going to vary. So then by the mathematical principle we are calculating the mean value. So for that here also, instead of calculating the instantaneous torque, we are going to calculate the mean torque. Okay, so to replace the proportionality, we are using some k value here. So here t instant is equal to k into Vm sin omega t Im sin theta minus phi. So theta we can say that omega t. Okay, so k Vm sin theta, then Im sin theta minus phi. And k is nothing but the constant of proportionality. Then this is actually, can you remember what kind of equation is this? We are using the Fourier series, Fourier transform. We are studied Fourier series and Fourier transform in mathematics. Anyone can say the answer? We are studied in your mathematics some Fourier series and Fourier. Did you study the Fourier series?
No, sir.
Now only.
Now only you are studying the Fourier series. What is the use of Fourier series? Can you say what is the use of Fourier series? Okay.
Don't know.
Okay, I will say the answer, no problem. Okay, so now only you are studying. So Fourier series or Fourier transform, whatever it may be, some series of equations it is present means we are make it into single value. Okay, series value in the sense we are representing the waveform as a series value, because the waveform goes on like this. It will start from 0 to infinity, it will goes on. If it is a sine wave means 0, 90 degree, minus 90 degree, 0, again plus 90 degree, minus 90 degree, like that it goes on. If it is the degree value in the y-axis means. Okay, so we are representing that values by means of the equation, then I can say that is the series value. I want to make that value into the single value, simplified value as a single value means I can use this formula. So 1 by time period, general formula is 1 by time period, 0 to time period, that voltage value and the current value. Okay, voltage value and the current value. What is the value we are getting? Combining the voltage value and the current value waveform. So in order to calculate the voltage combined waveform, now we can say for our convenience it is a power waveform, right? Combination of combining the voltage and current value gives the power value. So now we are having the power waveform. So in order to calculate the single value of the power waveform, I can use this formula. General formula is 1 by total time period of the power waveform and 0 to total time period of the power waveform. Then what is the component the power waveform having? This here we are having the component Vm sin theta, Im sin theta minus pi. So with respect to theta, we are going to integrate. Okay, what is the value? What is the use of integration actually? We are make it so many component into that single value. Okay, integrating so many values into the single value. Okay, so from 0 to 2 pi we are having so many values. Okay, in y-axis we are representing 0 degree, 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, like that. So 0 to 2 pi value we are having so much of power value. So integrating those things we can get one single value. Okay, so in order to get a single value we are integrating the power waveform with respect to theta. Here what they are mentioned here means the k is as usual k. I can separate this Vm and Im outside. Then 2 pi. Why you are putting here 4 pi means they are multiplying 2 with the numerator and the denominator. Okay, they are multiplying 2 with the numerator as well as the denominators. So the multiplication of 2 is here, the denominator 2 is multiplied with this 2, and we are getting the 4 pi. Why we are multiplying the 2 with the numerator and a denominator means in order to make the simplification of this term. This derivation I derived in a separate paper that I will upload in the classroom. Okay, no problem. You can see the step-by-step calculation for that derivation. Okay, is there any doubt? You can clarify in our next class. Okay, so now I just give the clarification what they are doing here. So they are separating this Vm and Im to this side and multiplied by 2 and divided by 2. So 2 into 2 gives the 4 value here. This 2 gives here. So here we are seeing 2 sine theta minus pi d theta. So take this theta as a. Okay, take this theta as a. So take this theta as a. This is a, and these two, this theta minus pi is the b value. Okay, so now how we can represent 2 sine a sine b d theta? Generally if I want to say now means 2 sine a sine b d theta. So in order to get this 2 sine a sine b value, in order to get the 2 sine a sine b value, you are already studied the trigonometric formula in your 12th standard itself. 12th standard itself you have studied the trigonometric formula. To get the value 2 sine a sine b, what we can do? We can multiply or we can add cos a plus b plus cos a minus b or minus cos a minus b. Cos a plus b gives cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Cos a minus b gives the cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. That things I written in the paper, that is I will upload in the classroom. Okay, you can see that. If possible, I can show now also if time permits. Okay, so by reducing these two sine theta, 2 sine theta, that is 2 sine a sine b, I can write cos pi minus cos 2 theta minus pi. Okay, wait, I will show the image. Can you see the picture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay. In order to make, I have to zoom. Okay. Now you can clearly visible. So this is the dynamometer type wattmeter. So for the AC measurement derivation part, this is okay. So T instantaneous is directly proportional to V into I. So generally I can write V is equal to Vm sin theta, I is equal to Im sin theta minus phi. I can draw this waveform like this. See. So this is the waveform. Vm sin theta means this is the waveform Im sin theta minus pi. So this waveform somewhat differ from this waveform. So the 0 point is somewhat varying. So here this is the 0 point, here this is the 0 point. So these two 0 points are lags by means of some pi angle. We are mentioning that pi is here. So Im is varying some pi angle from the voltage V. That's why we are writing Im sin theta minus pi. So T instantaneous is directly proportional to Vm sin theta, Im sin theta minus pi. Then these things are seen in our presentation itself. So come to this part. So here we are multiplying 2 by the numerator and the denominator. We can get this value. So this is the A value and this is the B value. So suppose I am making cos A plus B minus cos A minus B. What is the answer we am getting? Cos A cos B minus sin A sin B for cos A plus B. Then cos A minus B, cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. I am subtracting these two things. I can get minus 2 sin A sin B. I want plus 2 sin A sin B here. I want plus 2 sin A sin B here. That's why I am subtracting cos A minus B minus cos A plus B. Okay. So cos A minus B minus cos A plus B, I can get 2 sin A sin B. So for that A value, I can put theta. For the B value, I can put theta minus pi. Okay. So I am putting the value here. So here cos A minus B. So cos A theta, B theta minus pi. Here also cos A theta, B theta minus pi. Here, okay. So what is the value we are getting? 2 sin theta minus pi. Here also we are having the same value, 2 sin theta minus pi. So for that 2 sin theta minus pi, I can write cos pi minus cos 2 theta minus pi. I am simplifying this, means I can get this value, cos pi minus cos 2 theta minus pi. So instead of writing these things here, I am going to write this value. Okay, cos pi minus cos 2 theta minus pi. And what the answer is coming? So cos pi cos 2 theta minus pi into d theta I can write. So the limit is same, 0 to 2 pi. Then individually I have to integrate with respect to 0 to 2 pi. So I am writing the separate term 0 to 2 pi cos pi d theta and 0 to 2 pi cos 2 theta minus pi d theta. Here these things are combined together, give one value. Okay, don't separate this one. 2 theta minus pi is the single value. Okay, so here there is no theta part because I am take this cos pi as a constant value. So constant value means we can take it outside. So for d theta, I can write only simply theta here. So d theta cos pi 0 to 2 pi minus. Here also for cos, this is the single value. Okay, this is the single theta value. Make this is a single theta value. So for cos theta d theta, integration of cos theta d theta gives the sin theta value. Integration of cos theta d theta gives the sin theta value. So sin theta with respect to 0 to 2 pi. So putting any value to the sign 0 or pi, we can get the 0 value. Okay, 2 pi means you can get the 0 value. So no need to bother about these things. So I am underlined and put the 0 value here. For the cos value, cos 0, that we are putting the 0 value means 0 cos pi, then upper limit minus lower limit. So 2 pi cos pi minus 0 cos pi. I can get 2 pi cos pi minus 0 cos pi. No need to bother about these things because this will get 0 value. So 2 pi cos pi 0 cos pi means this term is also going to be eliminated. So generally I can get 2 pi cos pi value. I can strike out this 2 with this 4. I'm getting the 2 pi value here, and pi also going to cancel. So simply I can get k Vm Im by 2, this cos pi value. Okay. So for the 2, I can write root 2 into root 2. So root 2 into root 2 gives the value of 2. Okay. So for the 2, I can write root 2 into root 2. I separate this root 2 bar Vm and Im. So I can write Vm by root 2, Im by root 2 and cos pi. Can you remember this value Vm by root 2 in kind of RMS value, average value, mean value? In our AC circuit, basic electrical, you are studied. So this is the RMS value of the maximum value Vm by root 2, Im by root 2. Okay, mean value. So instead of getting the deflecting torque value, I can write Vm by root 2 as V instantaneous, Im by root 2 as I instantaneous, then cos pi. So simply I can get for the instantaneous torque V I cos pi. This is the power value of AC. This is the power value of AC. So I can say the deflecting torque is directly proportional to Vi into cos pi. So in this manner, we are say that the deflecting torque is directly proportional to the voltage, current and cos pi value. Here cos pi is nothing but generally we are saying the power value. So with this note, I want to conclude the session. Is there any doubt?